Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Samthedingus' training dungeon, my favorite shed. I really love this place. I even I customized it a little bit. I'll just show you guys, because I guess it's not worth a whole video just showing you my training dungeon. But so I've been practicing in here for a long time. Only real downside is that it's made of gravel floor, and this dust, sand, dirt floor always kicks up in the air, so when I blow my nose I get dirt in there for like hours afterwards. So then I also when you stand in the same spot, like throwing tons of kicks, I've eroded this spot, so it's basically a crater, right? So then I had this idea to move the mat in here, and it's been not perfect, but it means I don't get rocks dug into my foot, and that's nice. And also, when I throw water all over this and it gets all muddy and slippery, I think it's actually great for training for street beefs because the ground is often slippery there. So I was doing that a couple weeks ago. But so here I am in my dungeon. Just wanted to show you guys the dungeon. And now onto today's lesson. So now I'm not a fighting master, but I am getting to being a striking master. Meaning, here's the way I see it philosophically: is striking is an art. Fighting is a game, you know. Fighting is about finding the window for the shots, but striking itself is just mastery and efficiency of technique. And that's what I really strive for, I suppose, because then whenever you're in combat, your perfect technique will make all the difference in the strength of your shots. Now, I'm no master, as I said, but for striking technique, kicks are about as good as I have. And I feel if anyone is qualified to teach you about kicks and kick power, it would be me. Or if there's anything I am able to teach you, it would be kicks. So I just want to go through all my favorite kicks, the tried and true methods that I've learned to make them better. Now today, I'm going to be showing you guys one of my personal specialties. I have a few kicks that are much higher above the rest, even if my kicks are all high level. This is one of the best ones that I have. And I suppose I'll just show you what it is first. It is a front leg teep kick. Very quick thing. It's like a cobra strike, honestly. I just want to show you what it looks like before I get too much into talking. Alright, now this kick is great for tons of reasons. One, it's thrown at the midsection most of the time. You can alter your front kicks to be to the face or even a front of the leg kick, but in general, you throw this to the midsection. So, you know, you could potentially cripple or incapacitate your enemy, knock the wind out of him, and that's potentially a knockout, so that's great. Now, there's a difference between the front leg and the back leg and switch kicks and round kicks and side kicks versus front kicks. So I'll tell you now the specific advantages of the front snap kick. It's like a jab for your feet. So in a sense, it's the perfect balance in some ways. Like every kick has different stats, like power versus quickness to be deployed versus able to be disguised. Like there's certain charts with rankings for how good kicks are at certain things. What this kick excels at is being very fast to get you a lot of power. Like I said, it's like a cobra. You're in the spot, send them. And for its speed, it is the longest range attack you have. Like you might be able to get a little more range with like a back leg side kick or some stepping technique, but for just standing straight, the front leg teep is quick and it will almost always hit first. Teep is great because one, it stops your opponent's forward progress. It puts something right in their way and pushes them back. But also it's a good counter for other kicks. If your opponent throws a leg kick, you're out of the way and you hit them. And even if it doesn't hurt them, you get a point for your efforts. So while it is true that you get a little more power from the back leg, front leg is very quick. And I keep saying cobra because that's what it feels like. Alright, so I've spent a lot of time telling you how awesome and why it's awesome this kick is. But honestly, I just want to get into the technique now because I don't want to ramble on too long, because I know I do. That being said, I feel each individual, with the information they have, can teach each move differently. So I feel like my information sharing is the best asset I can give to you guys. So, front kick, how to do it. Well, how to do it quickly and how to get power out of it. So here's what you want. You want to aim about middle height. I think torso is a fair area to aim for. It can be a great shot anywhere on the body. All you want to do for the front leg is be balanced at the start, right? If your weight is all on your front, then you won't be able to do this kick. If your weight is all on your back, you'll be able to do this kick. But if your weight is balanced, I think it'll make it the best, right? So once you have whichever leg you want to use, whenever it's time for you to throw the kick, you just want to pick your knee up, first thing. So high knees, if you ever did those as a kid, will actually pay off now, because lifting your knee is the first step in throwing the front kick from any side, really. Pick it up. Nice thing about the front kick is your hands can stay stable because you don't have to torque and generate much force. It's just a straight shot, a transfer of energy, right? Pick it up. Now, your power comes from two things. You have to do right, time it well, and it will work much better. Your power comes from two places. One, the extension of the leg itself. That actually hurt a little. Don't recommend just throwing your leg like that. But most of the power, like they say, most of the power when you're punching comes from your hips. The same is true here. The power really comes from a slight leaning back as you extend your leg. That means that it gives your leg extension a lot more force to go behind, because it's accelerating from two propellants, the hip force and the knee extension force, right? So in quick, to get a good front kick, pick your knee up and then unchamber, unload it as fast as you can with a slight lean back. Now, I practiced this kick a lot, and from the left side, it's one of my best kicks, as I said, so don't be surprised if maybe the bag doesn't move quite as much or it feels uncomfortable, but keep practicing this one. It's a great move, and tried and true, it has worked, and every single time I've used it, pretty much it has landed in a fight, so keep at it. Now, let me break this down for you scientifically, after I tell you what it is. What to hit with on the front kick. Some people might say hit with the heel. Some people might say hit flat. But in truth, the way to get most power on a front kick is to hit with the ball of the foot only. So if you think about extending your foot forward and hitting with, the pads of your feet, that's what you're going to want to do. For a few reasons. Maybe you can guess them. Well, when you jump, you do the exact same thing. It's because shock is best absorbed and dispersed through that part of your foot. When you jump, you want to take off from the balls of your feet and land on the balls of your feet. Same thing here. It's soft and hard at the same time. It's kind of perfect for throwing at things, such that it can survive any impact, but also hurt the opponent without hurting you. Right. And now the scientific part of it is, do you know the formula for pressure? Well, I don't actually know the formula for pressure, but it's force divided by area or something like that. So to increase pressure, you have to change one of those factors. And what you do by hitting with the ball of the foot is reducing the surface area from hitting flat-footed. So normally if your kick is the same amount of force, let's say 100 foot-pounds of force, spread out over this versus spread out over this one will have more pressure. This one, in a sense, is more powerful per square inch. So that's what you want to do. This is all we got so far. Just pick that leg up from being balanced, extend your leg as you slightly lean back, hit with the ball of the foot. Like I said, I love this technique because it's so damn fast. If you get good at it, you can really just pick it up and toss it. It's throwing a kick like that is the best way to say, stay the hell away from me, man. And front Teep does that better than most. So for my arms in this, I usually just like to keep it chambered. Just like my normal stance, I don't really generate a lot of force with my arms for this kick. I'm just trying to make sure I get every technique point covered. But, you know, perhaps a slight turn or a slight dip may help you. Now this is just like the way you want to think of it, maybe, if you want to get more power. This is also true for punches. So maybe I'll do it with punches to demonstrate. You don't actually just want to like throw your hand or your leg at it. You want to be a solid force that occupies whatever space it wants with malevolence. And objects of matter like me in this punching bag cannot occupy the same space without one of us being in some serious trouble here. So what I'm saying is, it's not about punching the bag, so to speak. It's about generating force and then being solid whenever you make contact, such that the bag cannot be there anymore. Solid force, not limp. That's what I mean. But you only want to be solid at the end. If you're solid all the way through, you'll be slow. What you want is to whip, and then it should stop hard whenever you whip it. Same thing as punches as to kicks. Stop hard after you use mechanics to get you the speed. You want to throw your kick in a straight line, and that's it. You want to push with it. We've gone over now basically most of the form work for it. So now, I just want to make sure I get everything, like I said. And there is one piece of advice I did think of. Like I said, you want to hit solid hits with this. When you throw a kick or something, or a punch even, you don't want to reach for it. You want to put it, just make sure it's at the right distance. If you are outside of your kick range and you throw the kick and you reach for it, that's when you're off balance or you fall, or you do hit them but it has no power. So basically just what I'm saying is, don't reach with your kick. No need to make it dramatic, just snappy. Up and out. Those are the only two things you need to worry about. There you have it. That's basically everything there is that I can think of off the top of my head. As far as technique, advice, maximizing power, that's about it for the front leg Teep. Pick the leg up, lean back, hit him with the ball of the foot. If you want to increase your speed, actually focus on the first half, not the back half. Don't think of the distance from your foot to the bag. Think of the distance from your floor to getting the knee up. If you do that first and then extend, chamber before extend, you'll be much faster and you'll have more leverage to throw your shot with. If you throw it with just your leg, unless you're in a rush, you might get less power. Really, take your time and pick that knee up, and actually it'll be faster. And extend, up and extend. Such that anything that gets hit by this would be thrown backwards. The idea is for the target to move back, not for you to move back. Alright, well, as much as I love talking about this, since I haven't come up with anything new yet, I'll just leave you here. One of the best kicks is the front Teep, the front leg Teep. If you're in Muay Thai, this is like the staple. This is the jab of boxing in Muay Thai. If you're a kickboxer, obviously this is a must. And kicks in MMA obviously are a huge part of it. You know, there's ways you can overcome kicks, but a lot of people actually sleep on the kicks, and your legs are much stronger than your arms by nature. So if you can learn to use your legs as a weapon, it can be twice as deadly. Not really the only thing is mainly your legs are often slower hits, even if they're stronger hits. But this is where it's different. The front teep is lightning quick, and it has the potential to cripple even. So definitely get working at this one. From the dungeon, Samthedingus, train hard.